Gentle yoga for your hamstrings. A few more flows through our airplane. Lengthen the neck. Last one. You can stay with that or move into your full forward fold. So that's that big dive towards the earth. And then breathing all the way up. Hands go out to the sides, or our hands stay at our heart. Modification with our chair, stopping halfway down. Matching our movement to our breath. Letting go of our morning, any competition, judgment, or expectation. We'll turn this now into a flowing chair, starting to warm more of the glutes and our quads. Exhale into chair. Inhale, sweep up to the sun. Exhale, sit back into the strong support of your legs. A few more. Eyes open or closed. Moving through our flowing chair, bending our knees, lifting our hearts, and sitting back. Start to notice if we're pressing down into both of our feet as we reach up for the sun, and then sit back. Last flowing chair, we'll come to a standing mountain pose. Bring our hands to our heart and step the left foot back. Turn towards the windows. For our moonflowers, breathe in and reach wide and long. It's a pretty good amount of space between our feet as we sit back into moonflowers. Inhale up, exhale down. Chest up, hips back. So if you're taking care of your knees, we're being mindful not to put too deep of a bend in them. One more flow through that and we'll move into our sunflowers if it feels okay for you to bring your head below your heart. Exhale down, inhale up. Feel the connection to the air as it touches your arms, moving through it, as it enters your body. We'll be holding up into a star position, reaching our hands out towards opposite top corners of the room. And now turning our toes towards the windows or the long edge of our mat. There's a good amount of space between our feet, bringing our hands to our hips. Checking in with our core. So we notice the front tips of our hips and thinking of drawing the front tips of your hips closer together. The pelvic floor, the belly button in towards the spine, and we feel the support. Still breathing. If you'd like to add a forward fold, wide leg, you can. Hands can stay at your hips as you hinge forward, a little bend in our knees. Hands can stay on our hips or reach for your toes or the mat, whatever works, or keep your head up above the heart, or hold onto our chair at the front of our mat and stretching out the backs of our legs with a little bend in our knees. One more of those lovelies. Well, I guess it's not one more. One more breath and we'll come back up. Hands come to our hips. We'll turn the right toe towards the mat, lift the back heel, step to forward fold. Time for cat and cow. So we have all of those options for everyone that's been coming for a long time. Most of you know these options. You can come down onto all fours. You can stay standing, or you can take a seat on the edge of your chair or the full support of your chair. Exhale, round our spine, either holding onto our knees. And then we open up, wrap the elbows around the rib cage if we're seated or standing. If we're on all fours, imagine drawing energy up into your wrists rather than pressing down strongly into the earth. One more cat, one more cow, and we'll move into our spinal balance. If we're on all fours, reaching one arm forward and the opposite foot back, flowing through that, or on our chair, seated or standing. So if we do choose that chair today, we'll have a nice flex of the foot. Just, ooh, this chair, it's on its last legs. Oh, and you'll be adding your, oop.
I love it.
Don't you love that? That just, I was like, oh. And it's all on video. That's going on YouTube. All right, downward facing dog, child's pose, or take a forward fold, or rest your belly on your thighs if you're on your chair. Choose what feels best. Always making our practice today your practice. I'll give you options. Choose what feels best to make it honoring your body. If we're in child's pose, we'll go to all fours or downward facing dog. We'll be walking our feet up towards our hands for a forward fold. Take your time. Bending our knees, lifting our hearts into chair pose. We'll do a few more chair or cat and cows here as we're standing. Exhale, rounding out. Inhale, hands come towards the hips, elbows around, open the heart. Exhale, separate the shoulder blades, tuck the chin in. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin. Now press into the feet. We sweep all the way up. Let's grab our right hand and tip over towards the left. Create some space in your wrist. Breathe. Connect down into the earth. And for this pose in particular, as the right hand is reaching to the left side of the mat, we're pressing into our right foot. So we create some space. All the way up and over to the other side. We lengthen the left hand towards the roof, press into the left foot. So you'll feel that and then tipping over. If this doesn't feel good, you can have your hand supporting your head or just a little lateral flexion. Just trying to bend our spine over onto one direction. Let's come on up. Roll the shoulders back, bring the hands back. If it feels nice, we're clasping our hands together or holding onto your forearms for your forward fold with chest expansion, or the option to stay up, keep head above heart. Amazing work. We'll release, sweep up to the sky, or not. If we're taking care of our shoulder, hands come to our heart. All right, let's warm up our hamstrings. So we've got a couple options. Take our right foot forward. We're not too far back. Turn our toe up and shift the hips back. Just feel a little stretch down the front of our leg. And we'll come back up. So we will do pyramid after this, but let's bend. You could bring it up if you want to, point and flex our foot. So if we want to work on balance, we're pointing and flexing the foot off the earth, or we're down on the mat. Foot down. We'll hold it in a flexed position and lift just about one more inch. Feel the hip flexor, hip flexor. And down we go. Other side. Anchor down into the supporting leg before you lift the other one. So we're either pointing and flexing, heel down, toe down, or full foot up. Notice the stretch, and then the tightening, okay? And again, that happens in the front of the leg too. The stretch when we point and the tightening as we flex. Wonderful. All right, let's move through a sun salutation or two with our option to stay in your lunge or move through our sun salutation with our down dogs on our chair, on the floor, or holding our lunge. So if you are going to use your chair, make sure it's at the top of your mat. Let's get started. I'll put a different song on first though. Hopefully YouTube doesn't give me any trouble for that. Boom. Oh, good song. Up towards the top, find some space between your feet, create that mountain, that connection to the earth. We'll breathe in and reach up to the sun. Breathe out, airplane pose. So halfway down or touch your chair instead. Back up, breathe in. Now a full forward fold or stopping on our chair. We'll come halfway back up, hands to our shins, breathe in. Exhale, hands come back to our chair, down to our feet. Bending our knees, left foot going back. We can stay with a connection down onto the mat or rise up into a full lunge. Flowing or holding your lunge. We can stay with that full flow or hold our lunge or move back to downward facing dog, either on the chair or on hands down on the mat or holding our lunge. Down dog, we can stay or move into plank pose, a full or kneeling, or hold your lunge. We'll open up into cobra. If we're on our chair, we'll just look up. Back to downward facing dog or child's pose or our lunge. And then the right foot coming up between the hands. We'll meet everybody up in our lunge, hold our lunge. And a little change today just to stretch our hamstring. Hands come to hip. Left foot slides in. Left heel goes down. Hinge forward. Pyramid pose with or without the chair. So we keep that little micro bend in our front knee. It's as if the head is reaching forward and the hips are reaching back. And now forward fold, left foot comes up towards the right foot. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold and breathe out. Chair pose, breathe in. And breathe out, standing up into mountain. Inhale, sweep up to the sky. Exhale, reset our mountain pose and the length of our neck. Let's do it again. Breathe in, reach for the sun. Airplane pose. Back up, breathe in, press into our feet. Full fold, or you can do that again. Halfway lift, breathe in, or hands to our chair and fold again. Bending our knees, holding our chair or our front left foot, right foot back. Finding our lunge or keeping our hands on our mat, flowing our lunge or holding our lunge. Bending and straightening. You can stay with that flow or step back to downward facing dog, on or off your chair. Moving into a plank on our chair or on the floor. And into up dog or cobra. So up dog on your chair, just want to kind of open up across the chest. Let's just look forward, actually be nice to our necks. Back to down dog, hips pike up. Chest reaches towards the mat. And we'll bring our left foot up between the hands. Find our lunge, either flow or hold. Then we will hold, hands to hips. Slide the right foot in so that both legs can work towards straightening, and we hinge forward into pyramid. We feel the stretch up the back of this front leg. into our hamstring. We've got a small bend in that front knee so that we don't push that knee back towards the back. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Chair pose, breathe in. Lift that heart or lift the head slowly. Exhale, stand into mountain. Inhale, sweep to the sun. Exhale to our regular mountain. We'll do one more, maybe two. Breathe in, sweep to the sky. Exhale, airplane. If there's another version you'd like to do or another warm up, go ahead. All the way back up. Halfway or all the way to full fold. Halfway lift, breathe in, strong belly connection, and then fold again. Bending our knees, left foot going back. We rise or hold on to our chair for our lunge. Flow our lunge or hold our lunge. Stay or move to downward facing dog, or you'll stay in your flowing lunge or hold your lunge. Moving into a plank pose on a breath in, up dog or cobra. Take it back to downward facing dog. And then your right foot coming up between the hands. We'll make our way to our lunge. We'll hold our lunge, hands come to hips. Well, those flowing lunges get you warmed up. Left foot comes in, heels go down, and the toes are most likely pointing up towards me on both feet. And then into pyramid. Hips are going to go back, right foot forward, left foot back. Maybe that chair support. Breathe. A little change here so that we don't have to do an extra one. We'll bring ourselves to forward fold. And then take the right foot back. Not too far. We want our heel to go down onto the mat so we can come into pyramid pose on the other side. So if the hands are down, you'll want to bring them up or bring them to your chair. And right back to forward fold. Breathe out. Let the head come heavy or stop on your chair. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. All the way back up. Breathe in. Exhale to mountain. All right, grab a drink if you're thirsty. All right, close adjustments. And we'll move through, well, another pyramid in a warrior one. For sure. Oh my Lord. And then most of the rest of the class will be down on our backs for hamstring stretches. All right, let's bring the right foot up towards the top of our mat and we'll step our left foot back. Heel goes down, warrior one. If you're taking care of your knee, you might want that toe more towards the front, not a huge tweak out with the toe. Bending our right knee, warrior one. Breathe. Who is this? Johnny Cash? Someone? Yeah. All right. Hands come back behind us, chest expansion, or hold your forearms, open the heart. Feel the expansion of your lungs. Create space. Stretch your chest just by breathing. Rib cage out to the sides and then back in. Let's take another big breath in. When you think your lungs are full, try to sip in one more little sip of air. And then let it all go. When you think it's all gone, try to push all last bits of any stale air out of our lungs. If it feels nice, we'll now breathe normally and move into our humble warrior. Hands might not feel good back behind you. And if that's the case, bring your hands to your front leg. Still press into both of our feet. Connect. Rising back up to our warrior one. Lifting our left heel off the mat. Hands come to hips, exhale. Left foot comes in until we can safely put the heel down on our train tracks. and into pyramid pose again. Feel the stretch down the back of that front leg. Our hips are going back. The crown of the head is reaching up towards me. Breathe. Our connection to our core is strong. Step to forward fold. Nice big forward fold. So this is just like seated forward fold, only we're standing, bringing our belly towards our thighs, our chest towards our knees. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Amazing job. Chair pose, inhale. We'll slowly lift that head above our heart. Exhale, stand up into mountain. Other side, left foot forward, right foot back. Not too far. It's a pretty short stance. Warrior one to move to pyramid next. Heel goes down, left knee bends. So the short stance, the feet a little bit closer than normal, it's healthier for your knees. You can stay in our warrior or humble warrior. We open up and dive forward. You can look at your front foot for a long engaged neck, or let your gaze go back towards your back foot, stretching your neck. Letting our head either relax or keep that connection. If it doesn't feel good for your hands back there, bring them to your front thigh. We'll rise back up to warrior one. Breathe in, hands come to our hips. We'll lift the back heel. Draw it in a bit if it doesn't come down easily to the mat, and move into our pyramid pose. Let's check in with that core. Think of the front tips of your hips coming closer together by engaging the muscles that surround your spine or surround your pelvis. And then we hinge forward. We have a little bend in our front knee. The chair is there as an option to really focus on the low body. Hips reaching back to the back edge of the mat, crown of the head reaching to the front edge. Forward fold, breathing out, or holding onto our chair. Let your head hang heavy. Let the back of your legs stretch. Halfway up, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. All the way up, breathe in. Take your time. Hands will come and settle back to our heart. All right, big toe holds as our stretch today. Well, knee hold or big toe hold, or you can move to the wall and do it like this. Your hamstring, hamstring stretch like that. Oh, that's hard. Okay, so let's bend our, or press out into your right foot, lift your left knee. I actually think we might have done big toe hold last week, but that's okay. Can't get enough of this one. So here's our options. We're facing our chair, bending and straightening our leg, or no chair, bending and straightening our leg. There's no right or wrong. There's no more or less. Just do what feels good. And then we'll hold that leg out or keep the knee bent. If you're standing without the chair, bring the foot forward and hinge back. On your chair, of course, it can be exactly the same with that hinge back. It's actually might be more intense with the chair. Wonderful. Ah, good timing. We'll do the other side. So we're either doing our lift of the knee, bend and straighten, engage, stretch, or our chair. And then our stretch. Either keep our foot down, go forward. So no pressure on that front knee at all. We wouldn't want to press on it. There's still a little bend in it too. Forward fold, breathe out. We're gonna be heading down onto the mats now, my friends. Take your time if you want to go to all fours first. We'll actually be rolling onto our backs for supine butterfly first, the soles of the feet together. Grab your straps, make sure they're close by before you get too comfortable. So the soles of our feet are going to come together and let our knees move out to the sides to stretch our inner thighs and connect to the breath. And we notice again, and maybe it might feel nice to bring your hands to the front tips of your hips. Engage the pelvic floor. Feel some connection. When we exhale, we're engaging our pelvic floor from the front, from the back, from the sides. And when we're inhaling, relaxing. Last one, we'll draw the knees together and walk the feet apart slightly so they come hip distance apart. Extend our right foot up towards the sky for a hamstring stretch. The toe is going to point towards the forehead. This is where your strap could come in handy. If you wanted to put it on your foot or just wrap it around the back of your leg, if you don't want to hold on to the back of your leg, you'll use your strap in some way or right on your foot. Breathe. We keep a little bend in our knees, our toes turning towards our forehead and the heel reaching up towards the sun. It could even feel nice to massage the back of your leg, just to check in with your hamstring. Give your body some love. As a modification, you can always extend the other leg long, but you don't have to. If you feel the low back lift, you'll put the sole of the foot back down on the mat. Let's cross now our right ankle over our left knee. With a bent right knee, that ankle crosses. So we're moving into supine pigeon pose. You can use your strap for, you lift up the leg and we want to wrap that strap around the back of the leg, your left leg, and draw it closer to the body. Or you keep your left foot down on the mat and enjoy the stretch right where you are. And no matter where we are, we can have that option to straighten out your left leg, draw it a little closer to the body, and then bend it again and see how that feels for your hips. It'll increase the intensity for sure. Great job. Let's do that on the other side, everybody. So right sole of the foot down. Opposite of that, left sole of the foot down. You're reaching your right foot up for the sky now. You can put your strap on your foot or back behind your calf or your leg. Breathe. So whatever foot you didn't do last time. You can play around with extending the opposite leg down long. That doesn't feel good. Pulling back. And now we'll cross that ankle over your left ankle over your right knee. You can take the strap off if you want to. You can stay here, enjoy this stretch for your hip, or reach through the window of your legs. You can wrap the strap around the back of the leg or use your hands together. And adding on that little modification, if you'd like to straighten your right leg, draw it closer to the body. And then bend it again, you'll feel an intensity increase. We'll unravel ourselves and move into happy baby. Soles of the feet up towards the sky. We're drawing our knees down towards the outside edges of our mat, or bending our knees, or enjoying maybe even a half happy baby or that butterfly pose again. Breathe. We'll draw the knees together, take a little rock side to side. Moving into legs up a wall, or we'll put our feet on our chair. So reaching both heels up towards the sky this time. I got you, Bernie. It's stuck on your mat there. There we go. So either our feet on our chair or legs up a wall. And you can even put your hands up as well if you want. To give your wrists a little break, or keep your hands by your sides or on your belly. Really great pose for many different reasons. Maybe I'll do a post about that. Our chest is wide, our core is connected. We're feeling our lower back touching the earth. Softening our jaws, our eyes, our forehead. Choosing if you'd like to keep your hands up or bring them down to your belly to focus on breath. If we do have our feet up, let's bend them, our knees now, for 5 breaths or so. Bringing the heels towards our backside, just letting ourselves rest. We'll keep the left knee towards the belly, extend our right leg down onto the mat for a spinal twist. So drawing that left knee across the body for our twist. Beat me to it. Choose your twist today. Releasing tension in our backs. You can support your knee with a block or a bolster. We'll come back to center and do that on the other side. Extending the left leg, bending our right knee, and gently drawing it across the body. Opening our wings. Breathe. Bringing out, letting go. When you're ready, drawing your knees back towards your chest. Taking one more rock side to side before we settle into our Shavasana. When you're ready, moving into that final relaxation pose, adding in any other poses that maybe you're working on in your practice today. Grabbing an eye cover. If you'd like a blanket, you can raise your hands. I'll bring you one if you're chilly, or an eye cover, chilly. Making sure your consent cards are where you want them to be today. Before we move on to our meditation with our forehead and neck massage as an option, I'll make sure to be wearing a mask and sanitize between each person. I think it's this one. Here is a blanket, Jane. Oh.